Hey, what that dang old internet, man? You just go on there and point and click, get in there, talk about www.w.com, and you got then that naked chicks on there, man. You just go click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
I'm using the Wi-Fi that makes me late, Sue. Hey, everybody. How's it going? I'm using the Wi-Fi that makes me late, Sue. Now I got to turn my phone down. That's great. Perfect. Okay. How's everyone doing tonight? It's really nice that you guys are teaching Tanya the bad habits for pushing the button. Thanks. Jeez, I was having technical difficulties. Can you hear me okay? Because of the I couldn't get the microphone turned on. So I just want to know if everyone can hear me. I was going to try and use the lav mic because next week I'm going to be in Toronto and I can't bring the big mic. So I'm going to have to use the mic that's on the camera, or I was going to bring my lav mic, but my lav mic will not work while I'm doing this. And now I screwed up this mic. Wow, this is great so far. Technical problems. Now it's in the frame. That's beautiful. Yeah, you're impressionable. I know that. Okay, well, I guess we're going to leave this in the frame. All right. So it's just me and three ladies. Well, I can deal with that. Hello, Sue. Hello, Sonia. Hello, Tanya. Thank you. Sound is good. I'm not going to break anything. Why would I break something? I mean, it's off the, you're a DJ. What is this? Looks like a giant hair tie that keeps it from vibrating. Anyways, my mod squad. Ooh. Gord's Angels. Wow, Fatima's here. Thanks, Fatima. No class tonight. Well, you've always got class, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, I'll stop now. All right. So what internet am I using tonight? I'm using my crappy high speed that I have here that we only have in Canada. We only have two major telenetworks, and they basically have monopolies on everything. And they lease their lines to smaller companies with no service and very, very throttled speeds and whatnot. So I pay $60 a month for high speed, and it's really not high speed. Jim. Good, Jim. I need backup, so this is good. This is good. Hey, Bree. So the subject tonight is connectivity, internet on the road. What do we do when we're away from home? I know most people in here have a trailer or have traveled, who had the van. Tanya's on the go constantly. Tanya, what do you use on your bike? So I wanted to just look at the different types of internet available and see what everybody else is using. We had Guylaine started, well, she expanded her job role last year, 2021, I think. She works for a dental surgeon, and she's 2 weeks in surgery, and the other 2 weeks she's the office manager. So she's doing all the emails and everything. So it's great during the summer when, hey, Cookie. It's great during the summer because as long as she has internet and she can do her work, she works about she works a minimum of an hour a day. Sometimes it's more, but as long as she has internet, we can travel. I can take time off work, and she can work on the road. So internet's a very big part of it. When we went to the Florida Keys, we paid. We were there for 5 days, and she paid $85 in roaming fees. So we can't live like that. We can't do that. A lot of that was because we're in the States, but we do travel a lot in the States as well. The provider that she's with charges $12 a day for roaming charges. So that wasn't going to work for us. So what sparked the whole conversation was we were trying to find a solution to that, see what everybody else did. And I just happened to be scrolling through Facebook and saw an ad. So I decided to buy something. And I know how some of you feel already, but this came in this week. The hardware was 60% off. So I had no choice. I had to buy it. We're going to try it. I know the limitations. We're going to go through some of the limitations and have a look and get everybody's opinion. Are you back home, Cookie? Yeah, we're going to try Starlink. I have a lot of reservations, but if it can get Guylaine on the road without worrying about work, I'm good. You're going home tomorrow? How'd it go today? Yes, we're getting there, Sonia. Yes, expensive. Everything's expensive, especially in Canada. So we're going to start with the most basic, and that's campsite Wi-Fi. And anybody who's stayed at a campsite knows that there is no campsite Wi-Fi. It's very patchy at best. You have to be right beside the router if you're getting anything at all. The speeds are slow. You're sharing it with everybody, and sometimes you have to go to the office to use it, or around the pool, or to a designated area. You might not have it in your trailer. So campsite Wi-Fi is at the bottom of our list. Well, that's good. I hope you're feeling all right. The Wi-Fi, the campsite Wi-Fi, it's okay to check your mail, but it's too slow for anything else. And you need to be close to that hotspot. There's no pros to it. I'm doing pros and cons, and I couldn't find any pros for campsite Wi-Fi. There are some places. We stayed at a place last summer in the Outer Banks where they had Ethernet right at the trailer, but you have to have a router. Otherwise, you can't plug it into anything. So unless you're pulling the hardware with you, it's kind of useless. I don't know too many trailers that have a Cat 5 plug-in on the side where the satellite or the TV cable goes. So for me, campsite Wi-Fi is the absolute worst. Yeah, maybe in an empty campground, or if you're right across the road from the antenna, that certainly helps, because it's bad. We travel a lot now that the kids don't come with us as much. We do a lot of provincial parks, state parks, national parks, and there's no Wi-Fi at all. So that's not working either. Which brings us to our next topic, and it is the cell phone Wi-Fi hotspot. Cell phones work great as long as there's a tower nearby. And again, in the provincial parks, state parks, there's not a lot of cell towers, so you're not getting that signal. The plans in Canada are very expensive as well. A lot of them are data restrictive. I know that when we went to the Outer Banks last year, the kids went through 29 gigs watching Netflix, whatever. And it wasn't bad because the plan that we have, we can share. So we pooled our gigs together, and we didn't run out, and it didn't cost us anything extra, but it used everything that we had for a month. So that works to some extent. Again, if we're in the States, Guylan's paying for data, and we have limited, or she's paying for roaming rather, and we have limited data. So you are restricted. A lot of the bigger channels that we watch, including Robert, they have different networks, they have different phones, they have different SIM cards, and they have that option of, if one's not working, you're going to use another one. With the price of cell phones in Canada, it's just not an option for us. Right? So, and that's true, Jim. The more people that are using it, the worse it gets. And we're going to get to that because that's pretty much everything, but that's a con for many things. The cell phones, that brings us to the next point. It's private. I can get a plan there, Cookie, but then it's only going to be for the data. I can't text, I can't call, I can't do anything else with it unless if I get a burner phone, and then it's a matter of connecting to everybody else. I'm not sure what it's like coming across the border for Americans and what kind of challenges that you guys face in Canada. But going to the States, it's a nightmare. As well, we still have 3G up here. So we have 5G, but we have a 3G backup. And we got warnings last May that if we were planning to head to the States, that there was no longer 3G available. So, you know, that just when you run out of regular data here, you basically you're relegated to 3G, and it might as well be 0G because it's crap. Yeah, it's really expensive. Your cell phone requires a cell service, which isn't always available in rural. They have cell boosters. I know. Hey, Daryl. I know that like Robert uses King cell phone booster. I've never tried one, so I don't know how good they are, how bad they are. I haven't seen Robert use his in a long time, even before he had Starlink. So I don't know how great that they are. But I mean, you have to have a cell phone to boost. So even if you're in the middle of the bush, it's a booster is not even going to get you anywhere. So let's get down to Wi-Fi extenders and boosters, things like wine guards and rangefinders. We have a rangefinder on our Rockwood. I would imagine that Sonia probably has a rangefinder on the Nobo, and we don't use it. And the reason why we don't use it is it doesn't work. Because where we're staying, the only Wi-Fi that we have access to is the campsite Wi-Fi, which we've already said sucks. So even if you have a booster, you're just, you know, you have zero signal and you're boosting zero and it still doesn't work. So just not great. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Cookie. So it's, it's Wi-Fi ready, not Wi-Fi equipped. Yeah, ours came with the rangefinder. It works great in the driveway with my home internet. It'll definitely boost it out there, but other than that, it's we don't even turn it on. A lot of times we turn it on and it interferes with the data because the phone will connect to the trailer behind us instead of the data, and my GPS will stop working. So if I forget to turn it off in the trailer when we do use it, it actually becomes a hindrance more than anything else. Oh, Bree and Daryl are starting already. Bree, don't bite him, and don't spank him either. Okay. So next on my list, we have Nomad Internet. Has anybody heard of Nomad Internet? I had never heard of it. Mike and Jen Winland from RV Living did a review on it this week, said it's the best thing ever. And I did some research into it, and it's very affordable. And probably the biggest convenience to it is that it has in-motion technology. So you can have Wi-Fi in your vehicle. It relies on 5G towers. So as long as you have access to cell, you have access to this Wi-Fi. But again, you get into the rural spots and it's simply not going to work. Yeah, I like Mike and Jen too. But go and watch their video. And I mean, they absolutely love it. And it's great that it works for them. The research that I did said, yeah, it's great. It works great. Their customer service is absolutely horrible. If something doesn't work, too bad. And yeah, and it's not available in Canada. So even if I wanted to try it, I can't. Yes. Canada uses metric, and that's so we can talk to everybody else in the world. This is true, right, Joe? The biggest inconvenience is going to be customer service with any cellular plan. Yeah, it's true. It's trying to get a hold of a person, first of all. A person who speaks English that you can understand is a completely different story. And they don't seem to be able to fix anything. So I don't know. It's just a pain in the butt. So next on my list is satellite, but not Starlink, just regular satellite. And satellite certainly makes the limited area of cellular better because I mean, you can be in the middle of Yosemite and a satellite will work. But because of the distance that satellites use, um, it's very slow. It has latency of about 233 milliseconds, and typical cable is 20 to 30. So it's 10 times slower than standard cable, which I mean is still better than if you're using campsite Wi-Fi. But any obstructions, any weather, anything like that, and it's just not going to work. And it's not as fast as it should be. And so that brings us to Starlink. Starlink Roam, formerly Starlink RV. They have changed their plans, and they are trying to gouge more people. So they've taken what used to be a roaming dish that you could put on anything. Now they have a separate one for RV. They have a separate one for marine. They've kind of separated regions, if you want it regional or if you want it global. And of course, the boaters are getting gouged the worst. Their plan is very expensive. The in-motion technology is forthcoming, not available everywhere, certainly not available in Canada. And the hardware is $2,500. I don't need to send an email that badly from the truck. I can wait until we pull over. So not really looking at the in-motion feature. It would be nice if you're going down the road and people in the backseat can stream Netflix or whatever, but just download Netflix. I'm not spending $2,500. When Cookie worked for Nextel, he had the highest rated customer service in the industry. It was only 85%. Telecom has a huge customer service issue. Well, the problem is, Cookie, is that at the lower levels, nobody seems to be able to help you. They correct me if I'm wrong, but you're answering the phone and you're going through a text. You're going through a binder with common issues. And sometimes the issues are a little more complex. And it's just frustrating for somebody who just wants it to work and they're not tech savvy. And the person on the other line is not tech savvy. And it just is frustrating at best. Yes, exactly. They need a single call resolution. And that's hard to do because the people who have the knowledge to do that are usually on a different tier and a different pay scale. You don't want the management team or the IT team to be the ones answering the phone, right? It's just not cost effective. So it is what it is, I guess. And I don't think that that's specific to that industry. I think that that's pretty much everything. Need to change my light to blue. This light? Or the light behind me? What's the matter with purple? You don't like purple? Or would you prefer I look like a Smurf? Which light are you talking about? I do need to change my light to blue because in Canada, blue light is a beer. So I would definitely change it for that. So with Starlink, the reason why we chose Starlink, it's very fast in comparison to regular satellite at 233. It actually clocks in at about 4 milliseconds. However, because of shared usage and the fact that there's limited satellites up there right now, it's getting approximately what cable is getting is 20 to 30. Well, you know what, Cookie, if I can get 85% on my live stream, I will take that. Because that seems to be good for me. Yeah, so Starlink is definitely fast when it works. And that's one of the cons is just like a regular satellite, you can't have any obstructions. It doesn't work through trees or buildings. The weather, I'm still not sure on the weather. Some people say it works fine in the weather. Other people say, well, if the cloud cover is very thick, that it's not going to work at all. So we'll have to see what it is. And now the dog's going to start barking. Well, somebody's home. Don't know who's home, but the satellite network that's up there is growing almost every day. Anybody want a dog? Bree, you want another dog? This one doesn't puke very much. He does bark though. So, yeah, so with the more and more satellites going up there every day, the coverage is getting better. Yes. Oh, Caesar Tanya says hi. You should have told him to be quiet, is what you should have told him. But part of the cons are that the monthly plan is very expensive. So in Canadian dollars, it's 170 per month, but you can pause it. So if you're not using it, you can pause it. And that was one of the things that we liked it for, is that we're only going to use it during the summer months. So Bree can't deal with barking because it makes her grumpy, but you have a Yorkie, which is what that is. And all they do is bark. So I don't know. I think dogs in the country, dogs on a farm in the bush are far more well-behaved than city dogs, but that's just me. We lived in the country for a while and the dogs were much better behaved. So yeah, it's an expensive monthly fee. It's 170 Canadian, which is 20 bucks American about. The upfront cost of the hardware. This package in Canada, I know it's much cheaper in the States, but in Canada, this is regular $769, and I got it on sale for $350, so 60% off. But it's still $350, right? And it's mine now. I own it forever, so hopefully it can still do the job, and I don't have to replace parts. So yeah, it's definitely not cheap. And of course, we've all heard the nightmares of priority throttling to residential customers over roaming customers. So being in a trailer, I am definitely on the back burner. You have a non-barky Yorkie? Wow. Yeah, Bree, give your daughter $10 and send her to McDonald's. That's a good idea, Jim. So with all that being said, Starlink turned out to be the best option for us. I haven't tried it yet. It's been sitting here for a week and a half, and we'll see. I don't want to set it up yet because even though they give me the free month, where we live, it's all two-story houses. So, and the houses are packed together. So there's no way that I'm going to get a signal unless I go put it up on the roof. So we're going to hold on to it for now and try it out once we get the trailer out of storage in another month or so and see what we're going to do there. So anybody else have any suggestions? Sue, we got Starlink for the RV. So the whole point of it was for us to have it on the road. So the residential one wasn't going to work for us, and they've I don't know if you saw Robert's live last week. He had to change his plan. He doesn't know if it's even going to work in Miami anymore. So they're really trying to. I don't know if it's a money grab or if they're just trying to limit how many units are available, or if they're trying to increase the number of units available now that they have more satellites up there, but they're not allowing roaming satellites to be used in residential areas or in a residential setting. So yes, Jim, this version of Starlink will work in the US. What they've done is they've changed the plans now to regional and global. So the regional plan, which is what we have, will work anywhere in North America. If you travel outside of Canada or the US, Mexico, South America, anywhere across the ocean, you need the global plan, and it's a lot more expensive. I think for us it was $250 or $275 a month to do a global plan. Now I can always add the global plan for a month or two and then take it off if I need to. But if I'm going to Europe, I'm going to be off the internet for a week. I'm going to be on vacation. So And I will likely be in hotels that have Wi-Fi, so I definitely not needed for me. Sonia. Are you even listening? I said that was the whole point, was that it was $170 a month, but we were only going to use it for the trailer. That's it. So we can suspend it. Fatima says, if we need it for work, Starlink is the best system for that situation from what she's heard. And yeah, that's what we heard too. And, I mean, I think you all know I'm a pretty faithful Robert watcher, as well as KYD and a few of the other big ones. And they're all using Starlink. Less Junk, More Journey, Finding Our Someday. They're all using Starlink, and they're not relying on it as their primary. So she's not focused. I think, from what I've seen, she hasn't been focused since she got the package from Natalie. Too much sugar. Yeah, so they're not relying on it. If we were full-time or something, obviously we'd have to have some kind of a backup. But I think that for the 2 weeks on the road, 2 weeks off the road, this is going to work. So we're just going to have to try it and see. And if it doesn't work, I'm out $350 in a couple of months to try it out. And maybe the service will improve in the future. Thanks, Fatima. I like the purple too. I'm just going to ignore Sonia. Between this and our data plans, we should be able to get through, at least get Gillian what she needs to work. And then the rest, if the kids can't watch Netflix, we're camping. You shouldn't be watching Netflix anyways. I don't think trailers should have a TV in them. That's just me. Yeah, give her some more Vegemite crackers. So with that being said, I do believe it's time to move on to the random thoughts of the week. Yeah, you're right, Fatima. If it gets us out on the road, that's what counts. I've seen Gillian send an email from a kayak in the middle of the St. Lawrence River. So, as long as she has a job that she can do and she has access to the internet, that's really all that we can ask. So for our first random thought of the week, thought number one is that the primary purpose of the human body is to carry the brain wherever it wants to go. That's pretty random. Okay. This is something that I've thought about many times during our pineapple pizza discussion. We eat pizza from the inside out. You start in the middle and work your way towards the edge. Brie has a hole in her pants. Yes, Tanya. She has Tim Tams. How do you know what Tim Tams are? She says they taste like Twix bars, but don't ask her opinion on Twix bars. Old story about all the parts of the body being the boss. Mm-hmm. And for men, it's usually not the brain. Random thought number 3. Aliens invaded the moon on July 20th, 1969. And that would be us. Because to the moon, we would be alien. Fatima says there's a company that creates a poke tray, can hook your trailer to raise the dish up high if needed on drilling into the trailer. Yeah, I'm looking at a couple of different options. One of the options was the flagpoles that some of the full-timers use. We've seen them a lot on motorhomes and stuff. And it's a 20 or 25 foot flagpole. And there's, I don't have a 3D printer, but I do know somebody who does. And there's an actual 3D, a 3D CAD to make a bracket for Starlink to fit on that flagpole for about $6. So that may be something that I want to look into. Jim says that we have the title to the moon when Leon goes to Mars. Then they will be aliens. Maybe. But now apparently the Chinese are mining the moon, which is hard to believe because apparently it's hollow. So just so many conspiracies. This one is kind of for Bree. Because, oh God, Sonia's out of Dunkin'. Okay, do you want me to pause the live stream? Are you going to Dunkin' to pick some more up, or are you going to be okay? Maybe get some Tim Tams to keep the sugar levels up. That might help. Or Carmelo's. Maybe they can mine a gaseous planet. As long as it's not Uranus. Here's an interesting thought. When the Apollo astronauts came back from the moon, they had to go through UA customs. US customs, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it have been? See, so Sonia could never be an astronaut. She's too nervous going through customs. Anyways, back to our next thought for Bree. This involves hot coffee, Bree, not lukewarm coffee. Spilling a hot coffee on your lap will wake you up more than if you drank the coffee. I'm not sure what lukewarm coffee does. She needs Duncan to do the Tim Tam Slam. Oh, really? Do you dunk the Tim Tams in the Duncan? I don't know. Sonia won't fly in a regular airplane, let alone get shot into space. Yeah. I don't think I could do space. Planes I'm okay with, but space, not so much. Random thought number 5. If poison expires, is it more poisonous or less poisonous? Really not sure. Number 6. From your stomach's perspective, all potatoes are mashed. By the time they get there, Tim Tam Slam, bite the corners off the cookie, use it as a straw? What? What? Oh my God. And to do, okay. And to do that with Duncan? If you don't have diabetes when you start, you'll have it when you're done. That's a lot of sugar. If bacon is cooked and cookies are baked, why are they called that? Maybe Cookie can answer that. This one I added in, and I probably shouldn't have, reading what it is now. I don't even know if I want to say this one. Is Bree still here? So Bree, the one I did a point for you and you missed it because I know that you only drink lukewarm coffee. So if you spill a hot coffee on your lap, it will wake you up more than if you drink the coffee. Yes. Why do you park in the driveway and drive in the parkway? Exactly. So yeah, I probably shouldn't have put this one in if I would have known Bree was here. Clapping is just hitting yourself repeatedly because you like something. And yeah, we're not going into what you like the clapping for. And finally, oh no, there's one more after this. Horrible and horrific mean the same thing, but terrible and terrific are the complete opposite. Right, Sonia? No, it's Jim. It's clapping, not the clap. Not the clap. Oh. Okay, I should have read these beforehand because this one's for Bree too. Bree, did you know that one of the ingredients in dynamite is peanuts? That's a fact. Anyways. I'm not going any further on that one. That's what they say, Jim. I've never made dynamite, so I don't know. Do you think Daryl's a little behind? Are you still talking about satellites, Daryl? We're a little past. Hit refresh. Hit the live button. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't research them. Yeah, check out to see if they're made with peanuts. Never made it, but have sort of used it. You've used dynamite, Cookie? Was that work or were you just out fishing? Daryl's in the cloud. He's been multitasking. Really, Sonia? We're going there. I can't have that in my chat. Really, Bree? Daryl is doing 3 things. You're blowing stuff up with the stuff that was expiring. With expiring dynamite. Daryl is doing 3 things. If I was to guess what 3 things Daryl was doing, it would be trying to get money from a customer. He might be going boondocking with the truck. The wrap looks really good, Daryl. He also might be ironing a Speedo. Am I close, Daryl? Anyone know if Rob on the road finally made it to Chicago? They canceled at least 2 flights on him. Really? And he already had a super long wait. Walking on wet sand is harder than walking on hard stuff. I think walking on any sand is harder than walking on hard stuff. Daryl is editing a video, quote, and dealing with a stupid client. Well, I got one right. The stupid client, I think, is a given. And the Speedo's already ironed. That's good. And Rob has arrived. Good. How long is he staying? British Air is having a problem finding working airplanes. Is it the planes or the crews? Because I know that for a long time they had rotating strikes going on there too. Yes, you should take the Speedo off before you iron it, Daryl. I know here that I have to fly into Toronto next week, and Toronto is Pearson International is an absolute nightmare. It's such a mess right now. I'm just going to bring a carry-on. I'm not even bringing a check bag because I'll never see it again. They might send it home to me by May, but I certainly won't have it in Toronto, so I'm not even going to try. We like, even when we went to Florida, it was a little more expensive to fly out of Ottawa, but there was no way that we were going to Toronto. Even as a lot of flights, Ottawa, there's not Ottawa is not it's an international airport, but it's not a big airport compared to Toronto and Montreal. So typically, if we're going anywhere other than the US, you're flying out of Montreal or Toronto. If you fly out of Ottawa, usually you're going to fly from Ottawa to either Toronto or Montreal and then take your flight from there. But all the clothes you don't want anymore in the check bag. That's a good idea, except I want my clothes. So Fatima, I live in Ontario. I live in Canada's capital of Ottawa. Yeah, it's not good. One guy I saw did not want to pay for the extra bag. So he basically took everything that he wanted to wear for his trip and he put it all on. He had about 6 different outfits on and went and sat in the seat like that. So there you go. Don't even have to pay for a suitcase. Oh, that's cool, Daryl. If you need solar for your rig, we're working with a new sponsor and have a discount code 10%. You need to throw a link up if you want, or send a link to Sonia, and she can throw a link up. What's a long drive, Fatima? Ottawa to Toronto? It's about 5 hours. It's about 5 hours. All Daryl packs is his Speedo. Wait. Do you mean that all you bring on a trip is your Speedo? Or you're actually packing the Speedo? And what are you packing it with? Detroit to Ottawa. It's so you're going to cross in Sarnia. Detroit to Ottawa is going to be about, well, I'm not going through Detroit though. Because when I go to M23, it says it's about a 10-hour drive, but I forget which way I'm going. Which way are we going? Oh, no, I'm not going through Sarnia. I'm going through Sarnia. And that's about 10 hours. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Detroit's right at the Windsor border. Yeah. Yeah, Jim's right. It must have been interesting going through security, because I know that customs will not let you bring bananas in and out of the country. So Cookie's on his best behavior. That's great, Cookie. All right. So you thought I was closer to M23? Well, how long did it take you guys to get to Carrying Place? Because I'll be taking that same route, and from Carrying Place to home, it's about 3.5 hours. So it says that we're about 10 hours. Hold on, let me just double check it. Directions to here. And of course, this is Google, so you know how accurate that is. Yeah, it says 9 hours and 29 minutes from here to Lake of Dreams campsite. So in Google time, 9.5 hours, probably going to take me about 12. I'm probably going to stop somewhere on the Canadian side for the night. Hello, Jeff. Jeff is the new guy. Hi, new guy. Thanks for joining us. Jeff Fafa. Yeah, and yeah, I'll be taking, I'm actually going to avoid the 401. I can take the 407. It's a toll highway, and it's going to cost me with the trailer, it's going to cost me, I'm thinking about $70 each way. But I avoid the 401 altogether, and I avoid Toronto altogether. So it's definitely worth it. You go north of Toronto and then pop out on the other side. So yeah, the 401 is not good. I agree with you 100%. But it is free. So, so I thought it would be fun once again to have our Would You Rather. So, the first one, would you rather lose your keys or lose your phone? And I know if it's me, if I lost my keys, I would probably have locked my phone in my car. So, but I think I would probably rather lose my keys. Daryl would lose his mind for both. Yeah, I do hear you. Are you guys doing electronic rolling up there? What's electronic rolling? Is that the it's photo tolls. So when you go through, they take a picture of your plates. Fatima would rather lose her keys. Cookie would rather lose his phone. Tanya would rather lose her keys. Daryl already lost his mind. Sonia would rather lose her keys. As a spare set. Phone is always in my pocket. Me too. I pretty much always know where my phone is. It's just a habit more than anything else. Yeah, the tolling. It's when you drive through, you don't even slow down. It's like the Jersey Turnpike, or like the Pennsylvania Turnpike. You just get on. They take your photo every time you get off. They take your photo. So Daryl films with his phone. Do you only film with your phone, Daryl? I only use my phone to Zoom. I'm definitely getting a new camera this year. This one is a DJI Osmo Action 3 that I just bought, and I don't like the distortion on it. But this is probably my main camera that I'll be using, but I will definitely be using a different camera as well. Phone, GoPro, drone, yeah. Sonia calls OnStar and they will open the truck. Yeah. Jim locked himself out of the apartment today. Luckily, the girl upstairs was home and unlocked the outside door. Well, that's good. So you locked yourself out of the building? Or does she have a key for your apartment? 3 GoPros, 1 is Cadence. Well, that's good. That's good. My son also has a YouTube channel, and he uses exclusively his phone. He's got an iPhone 12, I think, and you'd never know. He just ordered a new Sony camera because he wants to start shooting weddings. So Daryl wants to know if your upstairs neighbor was cute, Jim. And Sonia doesn't. Yes, I kind of did a cop truck to get into the apartment. Just got to show your badge, right? All right. Would you rather only eat pineapple on pizza or never eat pizza again? Why does this always come up every week? I did find this one. It's like, yeah, I definitely got to find this one out. If you had to eat pineapple on your pizza or never eat pizza again, I think we all know I don't mind pineapple on pizza. Yeah, I eat it now. It's not a trick, Sonia. Jeff would never eat it again. There you go. See, Sue likes pineapple on pizza. It's not something I want all the time, but if it's there, I'll eat it. I'm not fussy. I mean, you've seen me in the videos. I'll eat just about anything, especially if it's hot dogs. Jim says it's a trick, and he's smart enough not to comment on whether another woman is cute when Sonia's sitting alongside me. See, Brie will take pineapple on pizza. Sue is fired. Tanya's picking the pineapple off and eating the ham. Cookie would definitely eat less pizza. I think you'd get sick of it. I think you'd get sick of anything if you eat enough of it. So it seems everybody would at least attempt it. So I guess we're all fired. Now you have to be careful, Sue, with the blue wrench, because I don't know if you saw. Oh yeah, you were there, and Sonia started beating Jim with hers. So you have to be careful with that blue wrench. It can be used as a weapon. Grilled pineapple is good. I agree with you, Jim. I agree with you. Number 3, would you rather be the class clown or the teacher's pet? I'm pretty sure you can guess which one I was. Campfire Bree, we're stuck with her. Jim was abused by a blue wrench, not in a good way. Sue says clown. Jeff says clown. Cookie says clown. Gord is like Bruce. He misses nothing. What? You were beating him with a wrench. It was pretty hard to miss that. Tanya would rather be a clown. Tanya is a clown. I can vouch for that. It's funny, Tanya, because today at work, right? Can you move your finger yet, Jim? Yeah, Bree, obviously you'd be the teacher's pet. Clown wearing a Speedo. Yeah, okay, Daryl. Yeah, Tanya, we were talking at work today, saying that Caitlin was saying that her stomach hurt, and I said, "Oh, like the hurt we used to have when we'd start laughing, the ugly laughing till we were crying, like that raptor." Maybe I'll do that raptor video on the live stream next week, because that was pretty funny. Jim wants to be the teacher's pet because he's not that funny. Daryl's getting ready for Taekwondo. Are you going, or is Caden going? Jeff has a question. Fire away, Jeff. Jim says the swelling went down after a few hours. Yeah, I miss those days too, Tanya. That was fun. We don't laugh anymore. There's nothing to laugh at. You can ask these guys. By Saturday, I'm ready to kill somebody. Wednesday is Daryl. Daryl's going to Taekwondo. Where is it that you is? I is in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And that is north, unless you're Mona, and then it's up. But Mona's not here. So would you rather be punished for a crime you didn't commit, or have someone else take credit for one of your major accomplishments? I would rather have someone take credit for my accomplishments, because that's what we do at work. At work, we work as a team, and in prison, there is no team. There's only tag team. So I'm definitely not good with that. Jeff is near Ottawa, Illinois. Very similar. When we were looking at going to Yellowstone this summer, I use road trippers to plan trips. And we were going to come back. Where was that? We were going to come back through Sault Ste. Marie, and passing the Lake Superior Lakeshore near where Painted Rocks is. There's the Ottawa National Forest. So I thought it'd be fun to stop there. There's a few stops in there that I have in my road trippers. So Ottawa is definitely not just a Canadian thing. Fatima would like to take credit. Sue as well. Tanya as well. No one wants to go to prison. Right, Jim? Prison sucks. Who cares who gets the credit? Yeah, I agree. Yes, I don't have a team anymore. That's why I am at work so much, because Tanya left. I am the team. There's no I in team, but there's an M and an E, and that's me. And Jeff's been to the Ottawa National Forest, a beautiful forest. That's good. That's good, because I want to drive through there. I want to have a look at that. So that is good to know. Thank you for the info, Jeff. And last one, would you rather have a permanent unibrow or no eyebrows at all? Well, I guess I'd go for the permanent unibrow, because I don't think I would look good with no brows. I mean, I barely look good with these. And I mean, some people already have a permanent unibrow, so you want to say hello, Caesar? This is the source of all the noise right here. This is the barking, the occasional puking. Yeah, yell squirrel. Actually, we have a rabbit. And so if you want to get him going, you can just tell him to go get the rabbit. Tanya would rather have a unibrow. Fatima would rather have no brows. You would get tattoos, really? I think I have a Sharpie here somewhere. We could probably use a Sharpie. Yes, Jeff, he occasionally pukes. I don't have the pukey problems that Bree has. Bree's dog threw up so much last week that she has stains on the carpet and on her bed. So he got into some barbecue grease or something. I don't know. This one, the last time he threw up, he doesn't like when the rabbit gets treats. And so if the rabbit has treats and doesn't eat them, he goes and finds them. So last week he ate carrot shavings and he threw up. So no, Sonia, you can't shave the unibrow. It's permanent. Little dog, enormous barf. Yeah, it didn't sound good, eh, Jim? She said she was getting the carpet cleaner out, so that can never be a good sign. He licked a toad. Her friend's dog rolled in manure. Oh, we had a big dog that used to roll on dead stuff. We lived out in the country, and if there was dead frogs or anything, he would roll in it, and he would just stink. So, anyways, I think we're going to start wrapping it up here. Sonia, are you going on tomorrow night? I know Sonia will be on her regular channel Friday night. Yeah, she thought the dog ate chicken turds. This one, I'm not going to get into too much detail because it's disgusting. But basically, he thinks that the rabbit is a Pez dispenser, and I'll just leave it at that. You can decide what that means. Sonia's painting tomorrow night, 6:30ish, 7. So if you want to join her on Garden State Paint, and her regular channel on Friday night at 7. Sue and Bob will be on Saturday at 9. So you can join them for some. Bob's probably going to crash the truck on Saturday or sell some more donuts. He was selling donuts this morning, so that was fun. And then Sonia's on again Monday. I have a video dropping hopefully tomorrow night. I haven't done anything in a while, and I'm going to put the shorts back up. If anybody else has anything dropping, feel free to comment here. I think I'm doing my Canadian Rise again. If you missed that episode, that was a good episode. Sonia's video drops Saturday at 10. What are we looking at this week? Is it more covered bridges? Are we still in Vermont? I was listening to the RV Small Talk podcast, which is a dealership in Texas called Princess Craft. And they were talking about the Ben and Jerry graveyard. And I thought, I got to go back and watch that video. I like that video a lot. Vermont Toll Road Part 1. Ooh, Part 1. How many parts are there? I guess it depends how much you paid for the tolls. And then next week, 2 parts. Okay. Next week, I have no idea what I'm doing for a live. Obviously, I do lives Wednesday at 8. Next Wednesday at 8, I'll be on a plane. And I had planned to move it to Tuesday, and now I found out that there's a leadership award banquet Tuesday night from 7 to 9. So I can't do it Tuesday night. And there's a meet and greet Monday night when I get there from 6 to 8. So I'm going to schedule it for 8. And if I have to change it, I will. I don't want to go on too late because I find a lot of our friends who are on at 9 or later, it's too late for me. I don't watch them. And I don't know if anybody's interested in watching at 9 o'clock. I'll be in my hotel room, so I'll figure something out. That is cool. The roll road. The roll road. The toll road? Yeah, I'm going to try and do 8 on Monday, Tanya. All right, Sue, thanks for hanging out with us. Enjoy your phone call. And I think at that, it's after 9 there. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm sure everybody has things to do, places to go. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Hopefully you learned something. Even if it is that, when desperate measures of pineapple pizza versus no pizza, that you've learned a little something about yourself. Thanks, Cookie. Have a great night, everybody. Yeah, maybe you'll have to come on, do a panel on Friday, Jim, and give us an update on your finger. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Jeff. It was really good to see you. I'm glad you had a good time, Bree. Yeah, and it's fun because you guys make it fun in the chat. So thanks very much, everybody, for hanging out. Don't forget to be kind, be thankful, and take care, everybody. Have a good evening. Thanks, Fatima. You take care as well. Bye, guys.